This is something that I started seeing very early on in the day. Maybe some folks saw it last night. This is happening in Galveston, Texas. The police department there charged a man with trespassing, but they didn't have a vehicle that was available. So check out this image. This is what they decided to do instead. You see the officers there. They're on mounted units there, mounted horses, and that man who was under arrest is walking between them, with a rope, if you can believe it.
No.
It actually looks like something that is out of the past, out of a movie or something. Very disturbing. A lot of people really upset about this. And the police chief down there, who is actually an African-American man as well, pointed out that this was not the best thing to do. He said the officers used poor judgment in this instance. He said that they could have waited for a transport unit, a vehicle, to take this man where he needed to go. And he apologized for this arrest, but said it was unnecessary and it was an embarrassment.
Yeah, so you see people, maybe taking a position on both sides, but when the police chief who trained them and who knows the policies and procedures, if this thing goes to like some sort of legal battle, you have the police chief saying that this was not the proper thing to do and they could have waited for that unit, because a lot of people were saying, well, it's a mounted patrol unit. What are you supposed to do? But when you look at that image, you just get a jarring feeling of America's dark past.
Yeah. It is. It's a visceral reaction. And I know we have mounted patrol units here in Atlanta, and I have never seen anything like that. So I understand they couldn't put them on the back of the horse, but certainly why couldn't you wait for a transport unit to arrive? I can't wrap my mind around making that decision.
Exactly. Nobody, not one of the two officers involved, thought better of this. Or, I mean, maybe even one of you walked down there with him. That would have been a different image, I think, for many people. It just invoked so many painful memories of the past. And the man's brother said it was like it was a dog.
Yeah.
So it was really, really bad. Like I said, a lot of people talking about this one today. Let's take a look at some of your comments. This one coming in from Steven. He said this might have been procedure back in the Old West before patrol cars, but this was a horrible decision in 2019. A lot of people saying, what year are we in? This next one coming in from Zach, he said, putting a handcuffed man on a horse would be pretty dangerous, I imagine, but that's a far way to fall. He says, though, that probably they should have waited for that patrol car, kind of like the police chief. And then this last one coming in from Alana saying it's far too reminiscent of a horrid history of treatment of slaves and African Americans during Jim Crow. How does anyone not see this? Or not know this, rather, and even suspects should be treated humanely. I think a lot of folks saying that the suspects don't deserve this.
Yeah, a lot of people, though, like you said, this story started to come out and get some comments last night. A lot of people were saying, well, why should we treat criminals with so much respect and dignity? And he's accused of this and he's accused of that. And they're also saying, not to bring in the race card. It's America, it's 2019, but you also have to do a parallel. What if you did a side-by-side, this also in Texas and El Paso, of how that suspect was arrested so peacefully, not a hair out of place, and then for someone charged with trespassing, how he was, dehumanized in a way, being dragged around the town on a rope. And so you can really do a parallel there and see why people who have been impacted by race feel the need to bring it up.
And one other thing to mention is that this man who was arrested, his family says he has mental health issues and that he was also homeless, and they allege that he was familiar with officers in the area, and so that these were things that they would have known as well. The police chief did say that they did not break any policy, but it looks like they're making moves to change it.
It definitely got a good conversation going too on our social media. We would love to hear more about what you guys have to say about that one.